The folks who are afraid of me, and there are folks who have been, ooh, Angelica Ross, blah, 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 what have you. The folks who are afraid of me should be afraid of me because I'm really not to be feared unless there's something in you that has the cause to be afraid. Because what I want for all of us is accountability. When I said on Lene's Pimpin' Parking Lot that the admission price for community is accountability, it's something that I learned from a book by Peter Block. He wrote a book called Community. So what I want for not just Black cis straight people, but for all of us, what I want for all of us is accountability. I'm learning from abolitionists. I don't want to see our people in prison. What I do want to see, though, is restorative justice. So what I'm trying to tell you is a lot of the folks in those spaces are being very Hollywood and jumping on a bandwagon of calling things cancel culture and making it a whole thing when folks like me come in the building. And that's not what that said. That's not where I'm at. I'm not talking about canceling your stuff. What I'm talking about is accountability.
So when it comes to hacking Hollywood, how do you feel like you have managed to do this? Like you identify that there's a code. That was step one, right? No, step one was systems. Then you got the understanding of, okay, there's
Learn
codes.
the language, learn the code.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's codes to these systems. What is step three? Or what has been step three for you?
Step three is realizing that Hollywood is a dream of your own making. And to make that dream a reality, you must ground yourself in a skill that is valuable to that environment. I got a lot of people in my DMs. I have a lot of people hit me up because I'm famous. I have a lot of people hit me up and thinking that I can make their dreams come true. And what I'm saying, what I'm saying is all you got to do is learn a skill and be valuable and be an asset to the situation. That's how you hack the system. Like,
yeah,
learn. Can you put up a light? Can you run the cameras? Can you do sound effects? Can you do something?
Would you say that a lot of people think that the system is who's in front of the camera? Because I feel like so many people, like that's all they see, when really what you be doing is 50, 11 jobs and then getting in front of the camera.
Absolutely. I think it is partially that, yes. I would say more so along the lines of people are more focused on the outcomes than they are on the input.
Outcomes more than the input. What? Ooh.
Or the output. They're focused more on the output than they are on the input. That's another technology term. Input, outputs. Yes.
What are the output? What is the output that you think folks are missing the mark on just focusing on? Because I feel like a lot of people. So like we're both in a business where we end up hiring people, right? We do projects,
Absolutely.
like we bring people on. And it just feels like a lot of times I'm having to communicate to folks that especially in this era of Hollywood, you being good at one thing is not you being valuable in this space.
I think that people are struggling with capitalism and they're struggling with what they're struggling with is when you have been abused by capitalism and put in a job where they pay you one rate to do everything, folks are like, nah, you've been, and because people have been abusive in that space.
Yeah.
Versus what I had to like teach some of my people. I was like, listen, this is the one thing that I learned from Alexis Martin Woodall, who was the president of Ryan Murphy Productions. Her and I used to like have weekly meetings and she would like mentor me and stuff like that or whatever. And she told me she started as a production assistant. And she said that she did not go to school for this and that she worked her way up. Now, yes, she's a white woman. So I'm sure that helped. Let me tell you, because I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm a trans person, but I'm a pretty trans person. So that helps my life. So I'm just say that. But when it comes to this environment as a production assistant, you just need to be you need to be flexible.
There you go.
You need to be, can you do it? Oh, Amanda. Because you always
versatile. Reliable.
Yes.
Helpful.
And not only not only that, but the cream rises to the to the top. So like you show me. I hired you as a production assistant. We produce it. But you show me, why are you here?
I don't think a lot of folks are really grasping that because, like you said, the abuse of capitalism makes them feel like, all right, I'm going to show them. But you end up cutting off your nose to spite your face when you get into the space that you actually care about. Right? Because if I'm working at Forever 21 and they got me doing 50, 11 jobs for $5, I'm like, y'all, Forever 21, this ain't even what I'm about. I'm not even 21.
But guess what? They're missing the reflection. Guess why they're missing the reflection? Because it ain't about Forever 21. It's never, and this is a Buddhist concept. When you are in situations, you have to understand, while I'm here, there's something here for me, which is a reflection. I could focus more on my own reflection in this situation, or I could say it's Forever 21, because every job that I've left, from Hardee's to selling credit card processors door to door to waiting tables for 6 years, every job that I have worked, they have begged me not to leave. Even with me being trans, because I'm the best one. Wait, don't you want to be the manager? Like, if we could give you this and blah, blah, blah. But what happens is, like a video game, another tech, like video game, I passed that level. I'm on to, but the thing is that people are not realizing, because they're focused on the wrong things. You're not ready for the next level. You don't even know how to say, how can I help you consistently in a way that makes me believe that you can do something for me?
I guess what I'm saying is I would stretch myself thin in spaces that didn't respect me, which I feel like is different than stretching myself thin in a place that is going to give back to me. And what I mean by that is that I think a lot of us who feel abused by capitalism feel like the culture of capitalism demands that we stretch ourselves thin everywhere because that's just what's expected of the labor force. Whereas I just think that when I get people in my DMs that want to be in a business of creative, right? Once you're in a business of creative, you are innately an entrepreneur. I just need y'all to know that. Like, if you're going to be in creative, you're an entrepreneur. Even if you're working for somebody, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely.
Because your skill is not like, it's not a trade. It's like, like you have to make it a business, right? So when it comes to hacking Hollywood and trying to find your own way in Hollywood, how do you feel like folks can get out of their own way? Like, how can folks not let the past situations that have taken place in capitalism keep them from advancing in a space that is actually about how they capitalize on their creativity?
Again, coming from my Buddhist practice and perspective, I would say it comes from focusing more from within than seeking things that are going to affirm or ignite or whatever outside of yourself. The more you are able to self-contain a space that says, I am all I need and I have all I need, I think the more, so when you were saying, like, in that moment, you have these moments where it's like, but I'm being taken advantage of, or, I don't want to be taken up by capitalism. So I have a podcast that's going to be launching. It's called Now, No Opportunity Wasted, with Angelica Ross. And it comes from my Buddhist practice of saying we don't waste a single opportunity. And the ways you don't is you're constantly assessing what's my capacity right now. You're also constantly assessing what's the capacity of these people that I'm talking to, so that every opportunity you show up to is not wasted, and that you find the reflection, the value, and whatever in the moment that you need, and are not focused on the other players as much as you are focused on the ingredients that are in that moment, in that opportunity, in that challenge for you right now, especially when you are experiencing an actual challenge, something that's challenging you. Then that's when you need to pay attention to you, more on you than anybody else. Why is this challenging for me? And how do I overcome this challenge?
If you want to get the full episode of Small Doses Podcast, the visuals, you got to get them right here at the Amandaverse.